must have been 6 or 7, playing make-believe in the park behind my house with a friend. We would run up and down the hill in the park and play on the playground. Make-believe is hard work. And at one point in the make-believe, I was captured by the bad guys and transformed into a girl. I had to be rescued. But I should point out that being rescued didn't mean being transformed back into a boy. To tell the truth, I didn't really want to be transformed back into a boy. And I remember at some point in the make-believe, for some prepubescent, gender-affirming reason, I ended up naked on my bed, my penis tucked between my legs to form a hairless V. And I remember looking at the top bunk and thinking, this is what I'd rather see. I told him not to tell. I told him not to tell. I told him not to tell, but he told his mom, and she told my mom, and we were told that that was not a good way to play, and that being naked with each other was not okay. But the part that was important, not the nudity, but the gender, that part never came up. I don't even know if he told his mom, or if she told my mom. But I feel like yelling at my mom, the point isn't that I wanted to be naked. The point is that I didn't want to be a boy. Long ago, when gods and goddesses ruled from Olympus, every mother knew that to give birth to a boy, you had to pray to Ares, god of strength, of war, ho, hi, ha, ho, ha! And to give birth to a girl, you had to pray to Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. But what happened when Ares and Aphrodite disagreed about the sex of an unborn child? Gods and goddesses were known to quarrel, and such disagreements happened more frequently than you might think. Such it was with one child. Aphrodite had chosen her to be a girl, to grow up into womanhood. But Ares, spurned by some perceived slight, came down from Olympus to work his magic. He could not change the child, the girl's soul, for that had already been touched by Aphrodite. But he could change flesh. And so he did, transforming by brute force to male what was to be female. And so the child, the girl, was born, but with the body of a boy. What sort of life would she be? Only time would tell. How have you been? No, come sit down. Oh, it's so good to see you. Wow. That's great. No, I've been really good. And I actually, I've been wanting to talk to you. I sort of never know how to do this. I wanted to come out to you. I identify as trans, which means a lot of things for a lot of different people. And for me, it means that I identify as a woman, not as a man. And I'm doing what's called transitioning, which means I'm moving from presenting myself as and interacting with the world as a man to doing so as a woman, and I wanted you to know. That's usually the first question people ask. Some trans women have surgery, some trans men have surgery, but I'm not trying to make any decisions for myself before they come, or set a timeline for myself. And that's usually the second question people ask. Yes, I've been on hormones for a while. Would you excuse me for a moment? No, I really think this is going to help explain things. Rachel, could we get the lecture lights? I think that would really help with the atmosphere. Oh. Let's get started. Hormone replacement therapy, or recharge, transgender or transsexual individual replaces the hormones naturally occurring in their body with those of the opposite sex. The goal of hormone replacement is the onset of so-called secondary sex characteristics usually acquired during puberty. For trans women, these include breast development and the redistribution of body fat, reduction of muscle mass, reduction of body hair, softening of skin, and so on. It's a little overwhelming. It should be noted that hormone replacement therapy cannot undo the so-called primary sex characteristics, which include skeletal development and genital growth. It's also important to note that hormone replacement therapy is not magic and cannot guarantee the development of a picture-perfect ideal of femininity. But puberty isn't magic either and can't guarantee the picture-perfect development of ideal femininity. And it's really unfair to judge any woman by that standard. Are there any questions, Rachel? Could we get the house lights up? I think that would help foster question atmosphere. Okay, well, it's important to remember that you wouldn't necessarily assume any particular individual liked playing with dolls or trucks growing up, and it's similarly not really fair to assume that of a trans individual. Yes, next question. Okay, again, not all men like having sex with women. Not all women like having sex with men. Not all trans men like having sex with women. And not all trans women like having sex with men. And speaking for myself and for trans individuals I've spoken with and read the writings of, people don't transition for a socially acceptable way to sleep with someone. We transition because something inside of us is driving us to. Yes, one more question. I'm not sure what you mean by a real woman, but just as I would never doubt someone's journey or dismiss their identity, even if I didn't necessarily understand it, I would ask the same respect of you to not doubt my journey or dismiss my identity or the work that I've had to do, even if you don't understand it or I don't necessarily fit your definition of what it means to be a woman. No, it's fine. Yeah, if you have to go, it's fine. It's fine. No, it was really good seeing you. I'm sure we'll talk soon.